Haulage company Eddie Stobart is taking on its biggest workload of the year. An extra 500 trucks have been added to its 2,000-strong fleet. During this busy period, they travel the distance round the Earth 41 times a day. And that can only mean one thing. It's Christmas.
Christmas is going to be a really busy time for us.
But this Christmas is different to any other. The UK gets hammered by the worst December snowfall since records began.
That we don't need.
Railways are crippled, airports seize up, and main roads become ice rinks.
There's no one available. There ain't going to be no one available.
It's chaos.
But Eddie Stobart keeps on trucking.
Santa Claus has never been late for his deliveries, has he?
This is the story of how Britain got Christmas and how Eddie Stobart coped with the most challenging road conditions it's ever known.
Let's go do some work.
Coming up, Huey takes a treacherous trail for Christmas trees.
There must have been 4 foot fresh snow. Horrendous.
Fiona's turkey delivery gets stuffed.
I don't want to open the back doors and have a load of giblets in my face. And be like, ah!
Bit of mistletoe, gives a snog.
And Mark loses his festive spirit.
Turn it off. Turn it off. Please, turn it off, because I'm stuck.
For trucking firm Eddie Stobart, Christmas is their most hectic time of year. As UK shoppers get ready to spend £66 billion, the boss, William Stobart, needs to make sure his 6,000-strong team keep our stores fully laden with Christmas goodies.
Hello, how you doing?
We have to deliver. They have to get the stock on the shelf for people to buy.
It starts with Christmas trees. They're big business. Every year, Stobart deliver 375,000 of them to garden centres around the UK. Their Carlisle depot is on the front line of this operation. They send 35 of their best drivers to the most remote forests around Inverness in the far north of Scotland to collect 25,000 Christmas trees every day. And one of them is Stobart's Mr. Dependable, Huey Bowman.
Bestest dad, that's my favourite cup.
63-year-old Huey is a tramper, which means he sleeps out in his truck, whatever the weather.
This is my bed. This is where we sleep on a night time.
Huey's regular truck is called Lexi Amelia, after his great-granddaughter.
It'll be my last truck at Stobart's. That'll be me and Lexi together for 3 years.
Reliable as ever, Huey's arrived at the Carlisle depot for 6 a.m, ready to get his girl on the road. But Huey's manager, Darren, is the bearer of bad tidings.
We've got a total whitewash up in Scotland here at the moment.
Right.
The roads are just totally blocked. The A93 is all blocked. The A9 is blocked. Got wagons still stuck up there from last night.
Scotland has been dumped with heavy snow, so the planning office is having a nightmare.
I would say your Christmas trees to Inverness aren't happening.
Some of the vehicles are actually stuck, so they're not going
I don't
anywhere.
think you're going to get to Berry.
The police have just told them that many of Scotland's main roads are still closed. The truckers who have ventured out have found themselves in trouble.
We've had reports of one vehicle that seems to have jackknifed up at Livingston, so we don't know how bad it is at stand right now, and we're just waiting for them to come back.
In fact, last night, 110 Stobart drivers were stranded in the snow, and temperatures in Scotland fell as low as -21. So for now, Huey's going nowhere. And it's no joke for the London Garden Centre staff who are waiting at the other end.
I'm really concerned. The Christmas trees are flying off the shelf at the minute. If we don't get this delivery, we're just going to be sold out.
Even Carlisle's general manager, Tony Delaney, is finding it hard to solve the problem.
We don't normally have this weather this time of year. It normally comes after Christmas, in January sort of time. This year it's come when we're just hitting our peak Christmas period.
After 2 hours, the canteen is filling up with grounded drivers.
We're going to cancel Christmas this year, rebook it for Easter.
A quick cup of coffee's turned into a full English, and Huey's frustration is beginning to show.
It's been here 6 o'clock this morning.
It's now 11 o'clock, we've done nothing yet.
With the Christmas trees piling up in Inverness and the road situation improving, the bosses have decided to let Huey get underway.
So that's us escaped on the road.
Huey's driving a Stobart trailer in home-base livery. He'll be delivering a load to one of their depots in the far north of Scotland before moving on to a farm just outside Inverness, where he'll collect his consignment of Christmas trees for a garden centre in North London's Alexandra Palace. It's a 650-mile round trip, and the weather forecast for Scotland is looking bad. Huey's already half a day behind, so he needs to do some hardcore driving.
It'd be better to be in Inverness tonight rather than be parked en route in the middle of nowhere at the mercy of the weather conditions.
Coming up, Huey goes off the beaten track onto a perilous path.
That would be a disaster, that, to go off the side of here.
And Fiona hits the skids.
The whole lorry has just gone that way.
In the run-up to Christmas, Eddie Stobart truckers have to make around 9,000 deliveries a day. But the UK's coldest December in living memory has seen their carefully laid plans unravel.
Obviously, due to the weather conditions, I'm afraid that's not going to be possible.
People are telling me that you might not get there, you see. It's testing.
It takes grit and determination to deal with road conditions like these. But veteran tramper Huey Bowman has managed to make it 200 miles up from Carlisle to drop his load at Inverness in the north of Scotland. He's now en route to collect 1,500 Christmas trees from a remote forest. But with the icy conditions, it's not the time to go off-roading.
In all the years I've been driving, never seen snow so deep.
The 2,500-acre farm which Huey's collecting from has a 3-mile narrow track through it to where the trees are being packed. In these conditions, he'll need his wits about him.
We'll see what it's really like then.
Huey's truck can just about fit down the track, and luckily for him, the farm's snowplough carved out a clear path.
There must have been 4 foot of fresh snow, horrendous. With it covered in the snow, it's difficult to judge the edge of the hard road and the soft.
One error, and Huey's truck could easily slip off the path. And this road has proved tricky for other truckers.
One of the Glasgow drivers coming out of the forest slipped off the road into the gutter. That would be a disaster, that, to go off the side of here.
Fortunately for Huey, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
That's another 200 or 300 yards now, and that's us out of the forest. Looking good.
With 40 years of trucking behind him and Lady Luck on his side, Huey makes it through unscathed.
Buy some lottery tickets this week, I think.
And in excellent time. Now it's down to the lads at the farm to get the truck loaded double quick and back on the road.
Get these curtains open and get it loaded.
Huey's trailer is a purpose-built 45-foot-long curtain-sided double-decker. Taller than a London bus and able to pack in up to 2,000 trees. A high-powered palletizer is used to maximise each load, employing a hydraulic ram to pack over 100 trees per pallet.
All secured. Perfect. Next stop, London.
With a full 27-ton load, Huey starts his 2-day slog down to North London's Alexandra Palace. But at the other end, the garden centre staff don't fancy his chances.
The weather up north where they're coming from is absolutely atrocious. I'll be amazed if we get these trees.
Will Huey manage to make the 450-mile journey without a hitch? Or will his luck run out? Find out later on. As the freezing weather travels down from Scotland, causing a public transport meltdown and havoc at Heathrow, Stobart is managing to keep its 40 depots open. And that's down to boss William Stobart.
How's things? What's the latest update? You have a plan, the snow comes in weather like this and it's chaos.
He thinks nothing of spending 20 grand a week on employing 4 snow clearing teams who work round the clock to keep the sites open.
If we don't keep on top of the ice and snow and keep rolling, we can lose £500 a day per vehicle.
Snowstorms have just hit Yorkshire and 2 of Stobart's main depots have almost gone into lockdown. They need to be cleared, but Stobart is running out of salt. The gritting teams are getting through 20 tonnes a day, so one of Stobart's trucks has been dispatched to pick up the next load. Driver Steve Williamson's heading to a salt mine near Manchester, and he knows he's got an important task ahead of him.
Well, the main priority is keeping the vehicles on the road, you know, and if trucks are stuck in the yard, they can't get out, deliveries can't be made, but with this weather, it's just causing a lot of chaos.
Winsford Salt Mine is the largest in the UK and produces 1 million tonnes a year, enough to fill 100 trucks a day. As he waits to get loaded, Steve plays Good Samaritan, helping out a fellow trucker who's stuck on the ice.
Got a shovel, do you want to put some of that chip under? Try that.
As the salt runs out back at Stobart, the pressure's on for Steve. The salt mine's monster loading shovels are working overtime to get the trucks filled up. These mega machines can lift 10 tonnes of salt in just one scoop.
Oh, it's very heavy. 2.5, maybe 3 bucket loads and you're full.
During the winter months, 2 million tonnes of it will be spread onto the UK's roads.
It's a hell of a lot of salt. I just don't think we can get it out of the ground quick enough, to be honest with you, at the moment.
For this messy job, Steve's using a specialised trailer that costs 40 grand. When it's not shifting salt, it's used to carry recyclable material like wood. It has a rollback top for speedy roof loading and an automated walking floor made of metal planks which shimmy out the load. Steve's got 27 tonnes of salt on board, but before he's allowed to leave, his truck and trailer have to be weighed to make sure they're within the UK legal limit.
It's 44 tonne maximum on a 6-axle truck like this. So if you look on the screen there, that tells you your maximum gross weight. 43,620. I'll use this card now. Put it against there. And you get the green light, which means card accepted, which means you're under the legal requirement. But it's a good weight, that.
Steve's meeting the gritting crew at the Stobart depot at Chelford, just outside Manchester. But there's no fast lane when you're going cross-country.
They won't pull over and let you pass. It's all over the road.
By the time he arrives, the gritting crew is at the ready.
Just going to get the back doors open now and set the floor in motion.
The trailer makes light work of unloading the salt, and with the help of its moving back wall, it's job done in 10 minutes.
Cheers. Thanks very much. See you soon.
28-year-old Jason Jones is part of the gritting crew, who've got the responsibility of making sure the 2 Yorkshire depots are fully operational by tonight.
That's Tom on the digger and that's Chris driving the forks.
The lads now have to bag up 6 tonnes of salt and get across the Pennines.
If we don't get the yards gritted, obviously the trucks don't get out to deliver the loads, and like our next on the line then, because the company's not making any money.
But with some serious weather on the way, it's turning into a race against the clock.
Can't put the other 2 here.
We'll find out how they get on later. Tramper Hughie Bowman is on the last leg of his mammoth 450-mile journey from Inverness. Deliveries have ground to a halt in many parts of the UK, but Huey's managed to escape the weather, making it out of Scotland with a trailer load of Christmas trees.
A lot of people hasn't got where they want to be this week yet. I've been very lucky.
Against all odds, and only half a day behind schedule, he's now hit London's M25. His next stop is a garden centre in Alexandra Palace, and with Christmas just 3 weeks away, customers are crying out for his cargo.
I heard on the radio this morning there's a shortage of Christmas trees due to the weather. This guy's getting about 750. He'll be quite happy with that, won't he?
Fortune favours the brave, and Huey's no-nonsense attitude has brought him safely to his tipping point.
This is it, down a hill and then left into Alexandra Palace.
But it seems his amazing streak of luck may have finally run out. After 48 hours of driving through the worst weather in all his years on the road, Huey's finally been thwarted by a 5-foot-high hedge.
It's okay, it'll come round there now.
But even the mighty bush can't hold him for long. With some brute force, he makes it.
We're in, there's no damage.
And you're happy?
I'm happy.
North Londoners can rejoice. Thanks to Huey, they've now got a home for their Christmas fairies.
The people in London will be getting the Christmas trees with the snow already on them.
Some areas of the UK have so far escaped the blizzards. And good job too, because in Wales, Stobart's Newport depot has the task of delivering toys for one of the biggest manufacturers in the UK.
We've got Trivial Pursuit for kids, Kaponk, Nabbit, Connect 4. These are all going to be Christmas presents ready for Christmas Day. Right, let's go and do this bit now.
Santa's little helper is 43-year-old Stobart driver Ashley Maddox. He's been one of the guys in green for 9 years, and he's proud of it.
I'm like a stick of rock, me. If you broke me in half, I'd stay Eddie Stobart all the way around.
Ashley lives and breathes Stobart.
Home from home, this is. I would drop most things for my job, but the one thing I would never ever drop is my wife.
This morning, Ashley's collecting a trailer that's packed with 7,000 board games and delivering them to a major toy warehouse.
Keep me warm on a cold day.
And with reports of icy roads,
okay. Lights are okay.
Ashley's routine safety checks are more important than ever.
Toilets. Gonna keep a lot of children happy for Christmas Day.
Finally, he seals his precious cargo.
It's time to make tracks. I just would like a trouble-free run to Coventry with the least amount of fuss as possible.
Ashley's now got a 120-mile journey to get from Newport to his drop-off in Coventry. With Christmas shoppers desperate for the toys, Stobart could be facing penalties if the load turns up late. But on the dot, Ashley can't rush this job because the freezing weather is about to hit Wales.
In bad snow, my heart's in my mouth. I feel like you're not in proper control, even though you try to drive as carefully as you can. And you brake too hard and you lose control. There's just no stopping one of these things. You'll end up jackknifing. And that's it, you're not going anywhere then.
Unfortunately for Ashley, he's heading straight into bad weather.
That we don't need. Definitely not. The weather has really deteriorated now. It's having a right go, the snow.
The toy store is 8 miles away, and Ashley's keen to get there within 10 minutes, whatever the weather.
I mean, I don't want to be late because, I mean, Santa Claus has never been late for his deliveries, has he? This is Santa's big operation, this is his main warehouse.
Afternoon.
How are you? Good.
He stayed just ahead of the weather. And once again, Stobart makes it on time. It's now a race to get the toys unloaded and a matter of pride for Ashley to beat the clock.
I want to hand that paperwork in at 12:45. Back doors open, back on the bay, up to the office in 5 minutes. Come on, I'm just going to open these back doors and break the seals.
Santa's little helper has worked his magic.
A lot of Christmas presents in here. 12:45 on the clock. We've been here a minute. What do you want to do then? Right, I can use the loo now. Right. You won't want to keep it here either.
In no time, Ashley's toys get stacked on the shelves.
Job done. Everything's there. We're here on time. Nothing stolen. Santa's got all his gifts, so job's a good one. And we'll get on our way now and go and do it all again tomorrow.
Coming up, it's crunch time for the gritting crew.
You can see how bad it is. We need to clear that before we get any grit down.
Trucker Mark gets frosty when he's backed into a corner.
I'm stuck in the snow.
And Fiona gets carved up on her turkey run.
We ain't going anywhere for a while.
It's 2 weeks before Christmas, and Eddie Stobart's busiest time of the year. But the country's been gripped by the worst weather in a century. To keep their depots running, Stobart has their own team of gritters. Tonight, Jason and the lads have to clear 2 of the depots that have almost come to a standstill.
Don't put the other 2 here.
They're travelling in one of Stobart's low loaders. It's big enough to carry 6 one-ton bags of salt, and there's still plenty of room on the back for a vital bit of machinery. Their £35,000 Manitou that doubles as a forklift and a snow scooper.
Alright, come on, mate.
You ready to go?
Yeah, all set. Got me paper, me flasks under the seat, been to the toilet.
2 hours there.
I can manage.
From their base in Chelford, the lads are travelling 85 miles east to grit 2 of Stobart's worst affected depots near Leeds.
Traffic's building up already.
The journey should take them 2 hours, but on the outskirts of Manchester, they're heading straight into Christmas traffic.
So we're just hoping this is Christmas shoppers. Should be clear after the Trafford Centre, but not holding my breath.
2.5 hours later, they reach the depot, and the temperatures drop to an icy -3. They get a condition report from the depot's foreman.
How's it looking, Chris? So it's like you said, it's all compacted down. So you need to go straight with the Manitou and then give it a good gritting. Right.
The situation is far worse than Jason imagined.
I mean, you can see how bad it is. So you're looking at, it's at least 2 inches thick with ice. So we need to clear that before we get any grit down.
If they don't clear the top layer of snow, they could actually make the depot more treacherous.
Put the grit down on top of the snow, it'll just turn to water, and if it goes below freezing again tonight, which it already is, it's just going to freeze to ice. So the more we clear away, the better it is.
After an hour of shoveling snow, they get down to the nitty-gritty. It's all done by hand, and over the years, Jason's learned a few tricks of the trade.
We use as little as possible of this grit because this time of year, this stuff's like gold dust.
Apparently, it's all in the wrist movement.
Half a shovel full and a good arc. There's a bit of a knack. Chris is still a beginner though. Come back in about half an hour, that'll start to do its stuff, so just move on and do the next section now.
By the time they finish tonight, the lads will have gritted the equivalent of 1,000 driveways.
look at that now. Spot on, job done. Cleans the whistle.
By the following morning, the Stobart depots are fully operational again, thanks to the hard work of the snow clearing crew. And just in time. 2 weeks to go before Christmas, and UK shoppers are making the most of the supermarket's special offers on alcohol and festive food. One of Stobart's main customers is Tesco. 850 Stobart drivers could be working on this contract at any one time, and one of them is Mark Dixon.
Morning. Bit cold out here this morning.
33-year-old Mark's a driver with a decade of experience on the tarmac.
Diesel gypsy, that's what we call me.
In his time, he's racked up an impressive 780,000 miles, enough to travel from the Earth to the Moon 3 times. And Mark wouldn't trade his job for any other.
I couldn't sit behind a computer all day, stick that right with.
Mark's truck, Phoebe Grace, is his pride and joy. And today, he's giving her a Christmas makeover.
Yeah, Lassie's got me some Christmas decorations. Told me to make my cab look festive. What the hell's this? Bit of mistletoe, gives a snog.
Now his cab's looking Christmassy, it's time to pick up his orders for the day.
This is basically the Tesco's paperwork. It should have a map and all. An idiot map telling me where I'm going. Which, either I'm drunk or that's in 3D.
It's from this depot near Hull that Stobart delivers for 360 Tesco stores across the northeast. So it's run like a military operation. Behind the scenes, there's a warehouse which has a floor space larger than 12 football pitches and is taller than a 6-storey building. To shift 14,000 tonnes of food a day onto the waiting lorries, there's a fleet of 285 specialised forklifts running 24/7.
Let's go do some work.
Stobart's to the rescue, eh?
Mark's truck is fully loaded with 10,000 Christmas puddings and 5,000 tins of chocolate. Today he's got 2 drops. From the warehouse it's 30 miles up the road to Selby and then another 50 to Chesterfield for his final drop.
Going to Selby, which is where I originally come from. You can just see in the distance there's Selby carpets. That's where my first job was. I used to fit carpets.
For Mark, who hasn't worked this patch for 5 years, it's a trip down memory lane in a massive lorry.
I've got family around here, a lot of friends around here. Obviously all my ex-schoolmates, they all live up here. This is Tesco's at Selby now. I'm just pulling into where I used to do my weekly big shop, and now I'm giving them a weekly big shop.
And now he's driving a 45-foot-long truck and trailer. Negotiating the car park's not as easy as it used to be.
Is he parking a car there? What a nerd. That car needs to have to shift. We've got a bit of a problem.
Mark either has to sit and wait for the car to be moved or try a daring manoeuvre around it. He goes for broke, trusting his driving skills. His gamble pays off, and his Christmas puddings will be on the shelves within hours.
Get the other one done.
1 delivery down, 1 to go. It takes Mark an hour to reach the next superstore 50 miles west near Chesterfield. Or it would if he was going the right way.
Yeah, we've just gone wrong.
Mark clearly didn't use his 3D map, and now he's missed his turning.
very rare we go wrong, but these things happen, sort of thing. We're on the right track, it only cost us 5 minutes. No problem.
Not a problem, really, but Mark needs to find a place to turn round. And that's easier said than done when you're driving an articulated lorry on a country lane.
I need a turning circle to turn round. Just give me a turning point.
2 miles later, and Mark's still hurtling along an unfamiliar road, unable to find a place to turn round.
This is like driving blind now. I'm driving and I don't know what's coming up in front of me. I hope there's no bridges down here.
For Mark, this could spell disaster.
I don't know where the hell I am. Just give me a crossroads or something.
This could literally be the end of the road for his load if he can't turn around soon.
I just want to know what's at the end of this road. My sat nav's telling me to just go to the top and turn round, but...
Finally, Mark finds a small side road, just big enough to turn the truck around.
Come on, just give me a bit more, come on.
These are tricky conditions. One wrong move can land Mark in all sorts of trouble.
I know you're going to bang, I know you're going to bang.
It's a disaster.
I'm stuck in the snow. Turn it off, please turn it off, because I'm stuck. Please turn it off.
10 minutes later, after a frank exchange of views with our crew and some furious digging by all concerned, Mark is a much happier bunny. He's out of the hole and back on the road.
So yeah, we're all right now, we're going the right way. What a joy this one's been. Can you imagine ringing Tesco's up? Yeah, I'm stuck. Why? The roads are clear, not this road.
Miraculously, he makes it back with minutes to spare. It's the end of a stressful day for Mark, but the customers have finally got their Christmas goodies. For Stobart's chilled food division, the weekend before Christmas is taken over by turkeys. 4 million fresh birds must hit UK stores by the 21st of December, ready to fly off the shelves and into ovens. And tonight Stobart has the mammoth job of collecting 200,000 of them from a warehouse in Liverpool and delivering them to supermarket stores nationwide. Luckily for these birds, they've got Stobart's #1 chick behind the wheel.
Don't you just love it? Are you really driving that? Well, no, it's on autopilot.
Chilled driver Fiona Soltziak is a bit different to your average trucker, but she doesn't let that stop her.
Right, we can rock and roll. Trucking is seen as the man's job, and I have proved myself to be as good as them. Maybe you like little boys. Or better.
In Fiona's 3 years at Stobart, she's ferried her fair share of fresh cargo, but this will be her first time getting to grips with a truckload of turkeys.
I don't know, I don't want to open the back doors and have a load of giblets in my face.
Fiona arrives at the Newark depot near Nottingham at 6 p.m, ready to hitch her empty trailer.
Hi Fiona, right, 3 o'clock delivery at Tesco's at Doncaster, okay?
Before she heads off into the night, Fiona gives her truck a thorough going over.
I'm just going to check the oil with the dipstick. It's so long. I'm going to wrestle it down there.
With the safety checks done, Fiona's all fired up for the long night ahead.
I've slept in today and I had something to eat earlier on, so yeah, I'm all ready to go now.
Tonight, Fiona will travel 130 miles northwest from Newark to collect the turkeys from Liverpool before delivering them to a supermarket warehouse in Doncaster, 100 miles back the way she came.
There's lots of people depending on me getting this done for their dinners.
Ever the optimist, Fiona is hoping to make her 3 a.m. delivery slot with ease. But after a brief let-up in the record bad weather, forecasters have predicted the next deluge of snow could be the worst yet.
It's roughly going to take us just under 3 hours to get there, providing everything's clear.
But the clear roads don't last for long.
The weather's starting to snow now. Almost immediately we're noticing all the cars slowing down.
With snow falling, the roads quickly become lethal, especially when you're carrying an empty trailer on the back.
I've been feeling it for a while, yeah. It's constantly moving, the steering wheel, where you're going over the snow.
But before Fiona can worry too much about slipping off the road, the traffic slowly but surely grinds to a shuddering halt.
I can't exactly see what's happening up ahead, but all the lorries have stopped. We may not even be getting that far.
Fiona's reached her exit from the motorway, but the slip road ahead is a solid queue of cars.
Got enough munchies for the night.
Fearing the worst, Fiona gets out for a closer look.
Any ideas what's going on up here?
It's bad news, as a mile further on, a fellow trucker has lost control, completely blocking the road.
That blue one is jackknifed at the top of the hill.
His cab is into the crash barriers, so I tried to get past him. You got no chance.
We ain't going anywhere for a while.
Coming up, Fiona and the turkeys fall foul of the bad weather.
If I try and move any more, I'm going to block the whole road off, so...
December in a blizzard just outside Liverpool. The temperature has fallen to -10, and Stobart driver Fiona Solchak is stuck in a traffic jam. It's almost midnight, and right now she should be picking up a load of fresh turkeys destined for the Christmas dinner table. But the worst dump of snow yet has brought UK roads to a standstill, stranding not only crucial deliveries, but also thousands of families heading home for the holidays.
Even he's sliding, look at it.
Despite the setback, Fiona is still smiling.
We'll out-push you if you get stuck.
I do need motivation for this.
Come on!
And even has enough Christmas spirit to spread around her fellow drivers.
Do you want to push?
Oh, I'd love a push, yeah.
We should start charging for this. He's going to try and turn around. We need some fun, don't we? I want him to get stuck, really. So we can laugh. I know. I shouldn't laugh. I got to get that out, yeah?
The slip road is on an incline, and after getting the cars around her moving, it's Fiona's turn to have a crack at the hill. But taking it on in a truck is a whole other matter.
The biggest problem we've got here is we're in something that bends in the middle.
Resourceful as ever, Fiona has a plan.
My theory is I'm going to drive on the fresh snow where no one else has been because I've been watching everyone slide.
Fiona lets the road ahead get clear of cars so she can have a good run at the hill. Stopping at any point will force the truck to lose momentum, turning this gentle incline into a slippery snowslide. No laughing matter in a 45-foot truck and trailer.
We can do some serious ice road trucking now. We just totally slid then.
The truck is losing traction fast, and Fiona must try every trick in the trucker's handbook to regain control.
I've just flicked it into manual drive. To be honest, I've not used this in manual drive before.
Putting the truck in a lower gear gives the engine more chance of reaching maximum torque.
Making noises, but we're moving.
But despite a valiant effort, all the power of her V6 injection Scania can't seem to fight the snow.
We're just going totally sideways.
She's jackknifing, a trucker's worst nightmare.
I think that's it. I think we've had it.
All Fiona can do now is let gravity take its course.
The whole lorry has just gone that way without me even doing anything. Do you know what? I'm just going to leave it here.
With the truck going nowhere, Fiona has no option but to put out an SOS to emergency services.
Oh, it's ringing. My lorry has slipped off to the side. The car in front's not moving, and there's 1, 2, 3, about 4 more Arctics behind me. If I try and move any more, I'm going to block the whole road off, so...
Unfortunately for Fiona, the sudden heavy snowfall has them at breaking point.
There's no one available. There ain't going to be no one available for a long while. We're bottom of priority because we're all okay.
With other jackknifed trucks blocking whole roads, emergency services can't immediately spare the manpower for Fiona's truck. And it will be down to Stobart's planners to save their damsel in distress.
I am absolutely, totally stuck. I'm on a slope and just not moving. Okay. Bye. Bye.
The planning office has gone into overdrive to try and get a tow truck to Fiona. For now, though, she's going nowhere.
I'm gonna have to put them turkeys on ice.
Fiona may still be smiling, but the wait for help is nail-biting stuff as passing vehicles slide dangerously near to her truck.
They're sliding further and further towards us. It's all right, mate.
After a nerve-wracking wait, finally a breakdown truck arrives, rushed to the scene by Fiona's planners, who want her back on the road to collect her turkeys.
I mean, the main objective is get all the wheels, the drive wheels, onto this, yeah.
He fits a 1-inch thick steel winch cable to the truck's front axle. The rescue truck's chassis is weighted down to stop it from sliding backwards. The winch is capable of pulling the equivalent of 85 family saloon cars. So getting Fiona's empty truck onto a clear patch of road should be no problem.
It looks like it is melting slightly. Whether we get any traction at the end of it, I don't know.
With the truck free, Fiona now has to try a blindside reverse, back onto the motorway to try a less treacherous route to the turkeys.
Just figuring out how far to keep bending it around, because obviously I can't see any of the road. Just about to see the barrier. I'm just going on everyone's tracks that they've made.
After 4.5 hours of being on the slip road, Fiona's finally back on track.
Sorted, who's on our way?
12 miles later, and the turkeys are within Fiona's grasp.
Guess what? We've made it! We're here! I feel like sounding my horn having a right party, but they'll probably think freaks.
Her trailer is loaded with enough birds for 3,000 Christmas dinners, but she needs to get to the supermarket before her driving hours run out.
It's now just gone 6:05 in the morning, and at 8 o'clock I have to stop. It is a race against time now. We need to get these turkeys off.
Fiona's unflappable attitude has seen her through a long, stressful night.
My legs are stuck in driving position. Our turkeys have been offloaded. All the birds have been loose in Tesco's. Everything's done, Christmas dinner's back on, and we're off home.
With the turkeys on the shelves, no one would guess the drama that got them there. December 2010 will go down as the most severe on record, when Britain's infrastructure came close to collapse. But the guys and girls in green rose to the challenge.
I think without Stobart this time of year, the country would be in a bit of a crisis.
500,000 turkeys.
To be honest, I love turkey actually, so this couldn't be a better time of the year for me.
375,000 Christmas trees.
We've had a lot of adverse weather this last week, but everything's more or less gone to plan.
2 million tonnes of food and 5 million toys delivered during the toughest 3 weeks in the company's history.
It just fills you so full of pride and joy.
You get to Christmas Eve and all you want to do is sleep, basically.
It's a job well done for the Eddie Stobart truckers, and time for them to hang up their uniforms and head home to their families.